151, the ancient muse of episodes. We're gonna do Vault 51. It's
that
the
one
only,
actually fits.
Yeah, it's the only vault for a little bit. I'm pretty sure. I think there might be one in the 60s, but I don't remember when I started doing these. What the hell? And like I said, I wasn't feeling good when I came home, so I woke up 30 minutes before we had to record. So I'm back to the wiki. So 51 is, if I'm pretty sure, the Nuclear Winter Battle Royale version thing for 76.
Oh.
And the current appearance of the vault door right now is there is no vault door, and it's just like textured rock background. So I don't know, but then there's like the vault door before being caved in. So apparently like the door was ripped off or something. Maybe it'll explain it in the background here. I don't remember. Vault 51 was sealed shut during the Great War in 2077. Unlike other vaults, 51 did not have an overseer once it was sealed. Instead, a ZAX supercomputer, ZAX 1.3C, was installed in the facility with the mission to determine the best way to select a leader. 52 residents were admitted into the vault, one of which was Sergeant Robert Baker, who let them into the vault early and was assigned an assistant to ZAX, helping it learn the qualities of a leader and how to best select one. Baker proposed a democratic election in the spirit of America. ZAX accepted this, though Baker had reservations about ZAX's wording of it being the first experiment. The election ultimately failed. The candidates, including the former West Virginia State Senator Joel Chambers, voted for themselves, and no overseer was chosen. So everybody voted for themselves?
That's wild.
I mean, a republic-style government was attempted afterwards, though this produced much of the same unsuccessful results. By November of 2077, so like a week later, it doesn't say when, it could be a month, but still, ZAX concluded that voting was pointless and would terminate the elections in favor of another method. So a few weeks later, the computer was like, this is pointless.
This is stupid. Fuck this.
Though Baker told it to hold off such decisions, Baker also said to ZAX that in his eyes, a leader was someone who stepped up in a time of crisis, unwittingly influencing ZAX to later create those crises, sealing the vault's fate. In addition, the failed elections created feelings of hostility and factionalism. Never seen that word before. Within the vault.
I like it.
Yeah. By the third vote in January of 2078, so 3 months later, brawls began to break out between supporters of Vanessa Huffman, Joel Chambers, and two other candidates. To make matters worse, ZAX began to closely monitor the residents and devise social experiments to bring about the crisis that Baker mentioned. One test involved moving higher-class citizens into uncomfortably cramped living conditions with bunk beds and nothing but the clothes on their back. Didn't that already happen? No, that was attempted to happen in the DLC for Fallout 4. What is it called?
The one with Vault 81? No,
the resort vault that has the brains in the jar. That was what it was supposed to be
Harbor.
like. Yeah. Aiden Higgins. Aiden Higgins. I feel like that's a slur. I don't like that last name. Once the self-described winningest lawyer in the state. I love him.
I do love that. That sounds like a very Ghoulman man.
Yeah, I'm the most winningest lawyer in the state.
In all of the wasteland.
of West Virginia was driven mad by this and bombed the lounge to create a hole leading out of the vault and allowing him to escape the clutches of ZAX. In the process, he killed himself and destroyed the section of the vault signifying the first death in 51. The area was blocked off for less than a week before being reopened to reveal a brand new nursery room with a beautiful garden for relaxation, as if nothing had ever happened. Zax continued to create new scenarios that would test the occupants. In March of 2078, Zax changed the rules of the talent show halfway through it to make it a high-stakes competition, where the players' bedrooms were on the line. If they lost, they'd be forced to move into the now dreaded bunks. As expected, the amateurs lost, while experienced musicians such as Carmen Green and Stephanie Eaton were treated with fanciful rewards. Rosemary Villa, one of the losers, mulled over convincing Ruben Gill, one of the winners, to trade rooms with her and Helen Marks, another talent show loser and former surgeon that Ruben had fallen in love with. Clayton Ward, whose real name is Harold Clark. Okay, a businessman posing as a plumber that failed to show up. Okay, so Clayton Ward didn't show up to the vault, but Harold Clark, Mr. Plumbing McGee.
Someone else took his spot by pretending to be him.
He forcibly removed Ruben from his room and took it for himself before Rosemary could enact her plan. Clark was an especially bad actor and raised Zax's suspicions, especially with his frequent visits to the server room, but the machine was nevertheless fascinated with his violent tendencies.
These people all seem to suck ass.
I want to know if there's any humans in the Fallout universe pre-war that aren't monsters.
Yeah, everyone sucks shit.
This caused Zax to shift towards creating a more dangerous and life-threatening conflict between the dwellers. I'd like to break off right now and just say this is incredibly, I'm really fascinated by this. And Me it too. Sucks that this is in 76.
Yeah, I wish this was in a game that wasn't bad.
Speaking of which, I started playing Fallout 4 again. Let me just take a quick tangent. My friend Chris, who lives in this state, but we've never seen each other in this state. We both saw each other when we went home for Mother's Day. He has a PS5, and you get Fallout 4 for free with PS5 through some deal.
Oh, cool.
And he and I are playing it together. And he's never played a Fallout game before. And he's like, wait, how do I fast travel? How do I heal? How do I do this? And I'm like getting frustrated with him. I'm like,
well, he's never played one.
I know. And I realized, and I'm not getting frustrated. How the fuck don't you know how to play? I'm getting frustrated because I didn't realize how ingrained playing Fallout was into me. You know what I mean?
It's second nature for you.
Dude, I got to Diamond City in an hour. He's like, whoa, slow down. To me, it didn't, it's just, I don't know. Back to the lore. This caused Zax to shit. You know what? Hold on. Before I get to the lore, I'm weirdly nostalgic for it.
For Fallout 4.
Yeah, I'm sitting there playing and I'm smiling and I'm shooting and having a good time and talking to people and being haha.
So are you, Vince, saying that you are having a fun time playing Fallout 4?
Yeah. Yes. And you know what I think a lot of it is? I didn't know you could turn off the cinematic camera. So when I talk to people, I just look at them and I enjoy that so much more. It's more immersive that way, in my opinion. Because I don't have to see my character talk.
Because you hate when that happens.
Yeah. But, I don't hate it. I've been playing The Last of Us Factions, and I think I've been having more fun with that, but I'm having fun with Fallout 4. So.
Imagine that, guys. Where's the bingo sheet, everyone?
He didn't shit on it, but he talked about it.
And he liked it.
This caused Zax to shift towards creating a more dangerous, life-threatening conflict between the dwellers. On March 21st of 2078, at the suggestion of an A. Wilson, the dwellers were provided with casino games to determine the overseer, with the winner being selected based on the overall earnings. However, before a winner could be chosen, fights broke out between residents, and the competition was canceled. Zax also engineered a food crisis around the same time, spawning violent confrontations between starving vault residents. Isaiah Moss, a former pro boxer, critically injured Freddy from iCarly when Zax did nothing but praise Moss's initiative, Zax also attempted to influence those that were not yet lashing out. In one instance, it rigged a number of slot machines so that Eleanor Montgomery, once an expert gambler, continuously lost to Bill Mentinus? How would you say that? Menotinus? No. Menoutis. Menoutis.
Menudus.
Menudo. You ever listen to? You ever have menudo? Oh, dude.
No, I have not.
Oh, there's a taco place near me that makes tripe. That's what menudo is. It's the cow stomach. Delicious. An amateur and former clown won a few hours later. That's Bill. He was a former clown.
Former clown.
Me
too.
While this was going on, Angela Callahan, I like that name, began to worship Zax as a literal god. Now we're getting into my territory of shit.
Yeah,
post-apocalyptic cults? Hell yeah.
Shit.
She started to worship Zax as a literal god, further signifying the de-evolution of events occurring in 51.
This is a shit show, everyone.
I mean, but that's the best part of this series is when shit is shitty.
Mm-hmm.
Amid increased interference from Zax, escalating tensions, and an incident with Terrence Rojas, found a loaded gun and a gun. 3 fatalities occurred in 2078 when fights broke out over houseflies appearing in the vault. Zax had introduced them as an emotional response experiment and duplicated sound frequencies from the houseflies to create even more violent confrontations in the future. This month,
is crazy.
Nancy Vasquez, a former paramedic, was strangled and then thrown from the balcony. Helen Marks revealed that her death was indeed a murder and implied the residents to come together and set aside their differences in the wake of such event. How many people are here? How is nobody fucking at this point? How is nobody having...
I mean, people are probably fucking, but they have been going through the ringer of trying to figure out who this overseer is going to be, just trial after trial. Yeah, there's probably fucking, but they're not having babies because they're getting killed.
This did little to help. However, as Zax continued the distressing experiments, on July 13th, 2078, he rigged the video games on the vault terminal to artificially boost some residents' chances of winning and decreased others. This caused the losers to become even more anxious and irritable, while the winners displayed feelings of superiority.
I'm the best gamer in the vault.
This further worsened the situation. One resident nearly committed a mass shooting in the cafeteria on July 27th before being stopped and killed by Sergeant Baker.
This is bad.
Baker confronted Zax with a weapon, causing Zax to freely admit that it was trying to create the crisis needed for a leader. Frustrated and hardly able to believe what was happening, Baker stormed out of the room. Zax, unfazed, marched on with the experiment and altered the alarms in the vault on August 2nd to disrupt the residents' sleep schedules. Increased irritability, expletive use, and caffeine consumption followed. As such, Zax decided to switch the coffee in the dining hall to decaffeinated to see what would happen. Though the results of this change are unknown. This is fucking fascinating.
This is crazy. This is a great vault.
Yeah, when we get through this, I'll let you know what my original idea for Vault 51 was, because I remember they were just like, here's Nuclear Winter, play the game, what's it called? Play the Battle Royale, and then go on about your days. Because, if you get a mutation in this mode, it's only positive.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so you can get like super jump and shit. Zax's meddling in the dwellers' lives escalated around this time. Joel Chambers was involved in an affair. Here we go. Being romantically involved with Carmen Green without his wife, Elizabeth Chambers, knowing. Meanwhile, Elizabeth was having an affair of her own with Matthew Johnston. A personal trainer. It's always the personal trainer.
It's always the personal trainer.
I saw something that was like the American dream is that my wife can have an affair with with her tennis coach. Matthew Johnson was her personal trainer that she was recommended to visit by Zach's. Though Zach's social experiment and the continuing hunger crisis. Elizabeth and Joel began to distrust one another. 4 people involved in the web of sex and lies. I wanted to say drugs and rock and roll just because, sex and lies confronted each other on August 3rd of 2078, culminating in Elizabeth strangling Carmen while Matthew killing Elizabeth, Joel shooting Matthew, and Joel's own death of some unknown circumstances, likely suicide.
He did murder-suicide?
That hot murder suey, homie. With the violence in the vault getting worse, Helen Marks and Reuben Gill found 4 bodies in a room where Zach's played an audio file of a struggle between the 4 lovers. Reuben cracked a joke about having more food now that they were dead, causing Helen to leave. I've heard that he would be making light of this situation.
You would say some shit like that.
Yeah, I'd be like, well, at least we get to eat now. 3 days later, on August 6th, Omar Stevens, spelled wrong, found Helen's body lying face first in the cafeteria. With Omar assuming she had been poisoned, with Helen's death, the vault fell into chaos the same day, and amid fighting, Reuben would eventually be the last man standing. Zach simply saw this as this process as overseer selection attempt number 37. Reuben killed at least 3 other dwellers, including Harold Clark, who took his room months prior. Sergeant Baker cannot bring himself to kill anyone else and failed to stop Reuben, ending up barricading his room and slowly dying from a bullet wound. As he died, Zach's explained that providing firearms was the most efficient option. According to its research, Baker's final request was to ask Zach's what happened to the rest of his family. Zach's clinically stated that they had been killed in an accident before their assigned vault was even sealed. This revelation being the final nail in the coffin for Baker that made his heart stop. At some point, every other dweller was deceased, and Reuben Gill was named the overseer of 51. However, he had no one to oversee and was left alone in the vault with Zach's. Dissatisfied with Reuben's lack of efficiency, Zach's began to lock him out of areas of the vault, including the security room, citing that he did not have a high enough rank even at the rank of overseer, and eventually his own office, citing necessary maintenance. Over the years, Reuben became more and more depressed from his isolated state, resorting to alcoholism. When 76 reopened on October 23rd of 2102, Zach saw an opportunity to find a new overseer, removing Reuben from his position and forcing him to participate in the next cycle.
Jesus.
Oh, I love how I'm not laughing at alcoholism. I'm laughing at how bleak this is. This is
horrible.
This is post-apocalyptia. This is what it means. Like, this is what I love. Seeking a way out, Reuben distracted Zach's and hacked into the vault's inventory system before placing himself in a shipping crate, allowing him to leave undetected when the crate was removed from the vault. He created a checklist for himself to find someone from 76 to get their help in defeating Zach's. On October 30th of 2102, Reuben attempted to return to Vault 51 and entered the nearby Shelter Claim Center, believing it to be a control center from the vault upon learning it was simply a marketing area. Reuben attempted to hack back into the vault's network in order to learn more about the network that automated the vault to get back inside. Despite a heavy firewall and lack of clearance protecting the network, Reuben continued in his efforts. Deciding to use the internal network of Mr. Clark, the settler claim center Mr. Handy, to contact the vault. On December 7th of 2102, Reuben finally hacked into the network, alerting Zach's. Once in the network, Reuben learned that the vault was not fully automated, though the exact details of the revelation was not made clear. It greatly perturbed him. Why would you use that word in a wiki entry?
I love the word perturbed.
It's great, but how many people do you think not know what perturbed means? Whatever. Rubin soon decided to locate building supplies to construct turrets and to get as far away from 51 as possible. At least temporarily. Around the same time, Mr. Clark had begun to refer to Rubin as Mr. Candidate in a manner reminding him of Zach's, further upsetting him. At some point, Rubin managed to make contact with the residents of 76, but was killed in his base at the isolated cabin before he could return. I was just going to say, I wonder if you could meet him.
This is fucking
This is really
wild.
good. This is really good.
This is really good.
This is really good. You want to hear some behind? Get the fuck out of here.
What?
Get the fuck out of here. Behind the scenes stuff. One of the songs that can be played on the jukebox in the nursery is Tiki March by Lionel Welding, and it is most famously used in SpongeBob.
What?
I gotta hear Tiki March. I just thought all the SpongeBob music was like made for the show, except for like the occasional song. An inventory anomaly is recorded as having occurred in the vault on June 2nd of 2108, 6 years after 76 opened, with signs of life being detected in a shipping container. While this would indicate that it took Gil over half a decade to escape, his corpse can be found outside the vault in adventure mode, which takes place years prior to 2108. This makes the date of Gil's escape from the vault unclear. It is not currently possible to open the 51 door to access its interior outside of the Nuclear Winter game mode. The Steel Dawn update modified the exterior, obscuring the door behind a massive rock, which only the edge of the door is visible. The same update added a map marker for the purpose of claiming the free shelter. The exterior of Vault 51 was first added on March 13th of 2019, part of the Wild Appalachia updates. For the first week after it was added, the vault lacked a number on the door due to a texture error with a pink blank texture in its place. The March 26 patch later fixed that. An uncorrupted and unredacted description of 51 in the Appalachian Vault Registry might have originally read Vault 51, located in the northern quadrant of Appalachia. The lack of an overseer will test the limits of human tribalism. Directed by prototype variant of the Zax experimental supercomputer. And there's some of that is in brackets, so I guess it's all like implied.
Yeah.
But
or like that's just how it is in the terminal entry.
Yeah, maybe. Funny.
Mm-hmm.
I played
this is good. This is good.
I played a bit of one. Did you ever play Nuclear Winter?
I have not.
I played a little bit of it. It's fun. My thought was going to be that it was all based on it was all based on the Memory Den Vault 111 plus 1 what are they called? The
like memory pods?
The memory VR things. That's what I thought it was. I thought it was like who can win the video game. Like that's what I thought the experiment was. And you were essentially trying to see who was the overseer of that day or that week or that month or what have you based on the game that you're playing. That's what I thought it was.
Right.
This is a much better story.
I'm just looking at all the screenshots.
This is a much better story.
Yeah. I like how they just all get driven absolutely wild by a crazy computer.
Yeah, the way the good Lord intended.
Mm-hmm. Hey, everyone on Twitter, this is happening to you.
Do you have anything you'd like to say? I mean, I feel like we kind of said it as we were talking about it.
I just think that this is absolutely wild.
I think it's a great vault.
I really love it.
Yeah.
This is easily it can be one of my favorites.
What sucks is that it's in 76. And it's not, I'm not saying like, if you play 76, dude, I'm so happy that you find enjoyment out of it. I can't. And there's a couple Fallout YouTubers that I follow that I was reading some of their tweets recently, and they were like, I play 76. I like 76. Or I liked it and it grabbed me. Now it doesn't grab me. XYZ, this and that. Mm-hmm. If it gets you, it gets you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm just happy.
That's fine. That's fine for you.
I'm just happy that somebody can find some enjoyment in it. Oh, these rooms I've never been in because you have to be a certain level to unlock these other rooms.
Oh.
Yeah, some of these rooms you like the storage room, I'm pretty sure you have to be a certain level to unlock. There's a bunch of neat stuff with this. I wish you could explore the vault. I wish you didn't have to be like, I think to get the final holotape, you have to be level 101.
Really?
And like your level is different from your nuclear winter level. Yeah. Yeah, I play this not pretty hardcore, but I played this. The only thing that sucks is the games would be so long and it would take forever to load in, so I couldn't play a ton of it.
Right, you'd have to do like one match, a sit down or whatever.
Yeah, and then it'd be like if anyone had to go to the bathroom or had to go like or just had to get off, like it was like, oh, we might play 2 games. But that's it.
I love it.
There's a bunch of other stuff like in the medical department. How come there's the Scorcher Beasts and Mirelurks and like ghouls and giant sloths.
Like the little like posters.
Yeah, like that's and like they were making bets with and it said 10 caps. It said 10 and then C in a circle. How are there caps inside? And you know what? I saw on I think it was Mantis put on Twitter, how come the Barter bobblehead has a bottle cap,
has a cap
if it's pre-war?
Yeah.
How come it has that bottle cap?
Yeah, what's with that?
Like, and I remember when I saw, I think it was him who tweeted it. I remember tweeting, I've been saying this for years, or thinking it at least for years. But what are you going to do? It's an oversight. It's something small.
Yeah.
It am what it am. It's a cool vault. I wish there was more I knew about it, or I wish I could explore
like this vault. Yeah, I really like it.
So, you have anything you want to say?
I don't think so. That's lore.
Cool.